Welcome everybody into this new tutorial of Fiverr platform. So if you want to sell your art here into Fiverr, stick around because I'm going to show you how you can do this. So first of all guys, let me explain you what this Fiverr works for. Here you can work as a freelancer. So if you want to sell your services for a business, you can do that. If you want to sell your own art, but before we start, I'm going to leave you a link down below in the description, guys, so you can download. You can start here into fiverr.com and you might have just a few rewards just by signing up. So now that you have your account, you can choose into become a seller and you can start selling in here. Join our growing freelancer community. So want to become a seller. Now in here, I just need to provide an email. Once I provide an email, it's going to be like this, the dashboard section. So after I successfully done and create my account, I want to go into my dashboard. And let's say, for example, that you want to switch this into buying, like if you were to buy some art. So if I want to sell, for example, my music, I want to look for something related that I want to sell. Let's say, for example, I will create. So in here, let's say, for example, I will compose and produce a rock, metal, and any genre song for you. I will compose your original characters theme song. I will compose a Spanish urban hit song for you, right? So if I choose painting, for example, this is just like a keyword. I will paint unique watercolor portraits for you. I will paint fun art. So if you want to do this, if you want to sell this kind of stuff, well, you can totally do that. In our case, let's try to stick around with something like we can do digital. But if you want to create something like physically and you want to sell that, well, you cannot do that. I mean, you can create like a digital art and later you can try to contact the person that if this guy wants to buy this item, well, I strongly suggest you guys to use in other places like Etsy or Amazon or eBay so you can send your stuff. But here I mostly recommend that you create some digital art. In this case, I want to go into switch to selling. I want to hit into my account and I want to create a new gig, which is actually this one. Now that I'm creating a new gig, I will, let's say in this example, I will create a digital custom art. Now here I'm going to choose graphic and design, portraits and caricatures, and the illustration style. I'm going to choose portrait. And if you want to search for a tag, let's say for example painting, digital art, digital design, custom art. Now that I successfully done that, it's going to ask us for some packages if you want to add some packages. But before we head into this, before we get involved into this section of Fiverr, I want to use a design platform that is actually really simple to use and it's really interesting. This one is called Canva. Canva is totally for free. I am not going to be using some Canva Pro tools because I'm pretty sure that you don't have the Canva Pro section. But if you want to take a look into the Canva Pro, I'm going to leave you a link down below in the description, guys, so you can see all the tools that you can use of Canva Pro and all the things that you can do, of course, of Fiverr. And of course, you're going to have the Fiverr link down below in the description as well, so you can start selling here into Fiverr. Right, so first of all, I'm going to choose the create a design once I have my account already created here into Canva, and I want to scroll down until I find something like a poster, right? So here is my blank space. So what I want to do is to go into template and search for the art painting. Let's say for example here painting, right? What I want to do here is that either I can do two things. So first thing, I can try to create an art here from elements that are inside Canva, or I can just draw something on another application and then I can send that, I can sell that into Fiverr. In this case, we are going to use Canva for using elements to gather all of them and create something new, right? For example, I'm going to choose lines and shapes. So for example, here's this circle. So basically what I'm just doing here is just making some designs. As you can see, I just did this like only using some lines and shapes. I didn't want to use some elements of graphics, like for example this graphic, because this is like totally something that I didn't create myself. So I'm gonna delete that. And if I want to sell this, if I want to sell this background, for example, I'm gonna choose a pattern actually. Let's see if I can try to create something, right? Something like that, and then I can send this, and there you go. So let's say, for example, that someone wants to buy this. It doesn't look like too professional, but this is just like, I'm assuming that this is interesting, right? So I can go into the graphics as well. Let's say that I want to look for a burger. I just want to add that in here, and I'm going to put it right in here so it looks a little bit much more professional, right? So kind of like this. All right, so before we post this into Fiverr, what I strongly suggest you guys is to try to look for the Fiverr logo, which is actually this one. I'm gonna copy and paste this. So there you go. What I'm basically doing in here is to try to avoid that someone wants to download this image once they review my gig, right? So after I get into my background, as you can see, here's my background. I'm going to position the transparency and make this so I can be really sure that they can only get this item if they buy it. If they purchase that, I'm going to just send this custom thing that we just created without the watermarks, which actually that's the way that we have to do this, right? So after that, I can go into the shop section, go into download. Here is the first section I got to download. As you can see, this is how it's going to be looking. And then what I want to do is to add a new page. What I actually want to do is to go and make a new template like this, like more a rectangle. Choose to upload my file, which is actually this one. And in here, I'm going to go and select my image, choose edit image, and go into smart mockup. Now in here, I want to look for something like a frame that I know that someone is going to buy this and put it like a frame or something like that. For example, this one. So I'm going to drag this. I'm going to go into save and continue. And you must choose a question to ask to the buyers. Let's say, for example, what kind of... Once again, I'm going to hit save and continue. And in here, it's going to ask us for an image. So I can choose here this image, but this is the most interesting part. I don't want to choose this as a primary. I want to choose a mockup as a primary image because this one is going to be looking so much more interesting. If you want to stick around with that, if you want to leave it like that, you can do that. In my case, I want to do something else. Now, if you want to add another image, you can totally do that. In my case, I want to stick around with I declare these materials are totally good and save and continue. Now, what's going to happen in here is that it says that it's almost there. So we just need to hit into publish. So after hitting to publish, I can go into save and preview. And here's going to be our gig. I will create a digital custom art portrait for you. This is my price and this is the image. So there you have it, guys. Actually, now we know how to start to gig, how we can sell our stuff here from Canva and Fiverr. Once again, you don't have to use Canva if you don't want to. I use this application because it's totally for free and there are a bunch of things that I can use. As you can see, I didn't have to use any Canva Pro section, but I can be doing so much more if I was using the Canva Pro version. So once again, I'm going to leave you that link below in the description so you can have your Canva Pro and see how it's going to be working for you for the next 7 days totally for free. And you have your Fiverr link in order to gain some rewards just by creating here your Fiverr account. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more about this Fiverr platform. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. And well, see you next time.